Give me your own summary of that editorial.
You see, that was a very good put together editorial. Yeah, people are angry. Me, I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I used to get very angry for, the past years after international games, Olympics and all. But this time around, I am only just going to give advice. First of all, I have to congratulate the athletes. I have to really congratulate them, the Olympians. We are in a country where politics has taken over, sports in our country. In a country where sports are taken seriously, when catastrophe like this happens, as people are stepping down from the airplane, they are resigning before they get fired. But Nigeria is not like that.
No, why should they resign? Who should resign? When you say people are resigning, who should resign? Why should they resign?
Yes.
That's what I want to understand.
Okay.
Who should resign? Why should they resign? Why?
The reason why they should resign, starting from the sports minister, because when I was in Nigeria, I spoke to a couple of officials about the team. They were telling me, "Oh, we are going to use this athlete from this event to go and run that relay. We are going to." You see, these are officials that never put on any team sports in their body, but just coming to run sports in a country where we have so much talent. We have so much talent in Nigeria. The talent is there. The money is there. Okay.
So, no, but now, look, I want us to narrow it to Paris 2024.
Yes.
And I want you, as an Olympian, because we are looking at this from the perspective of an athlete.
Yes.
You, going to the Olympics, what were your expectations? You know how it is at the Olympics.
Yes.
We went with 82 athletes in different sports. How many medals were you expecting them to come back? Do you just go to the Olympics and win medals? Or even before the Olympics, you must start to count the medals you are going to win based on the athletes you have, and you know them already. So tell me.
When this team was put together,
yes,
I was looking at 3 medals.
Fantastic. Okay.
I was looking at 3 medals.
Yeah.
If the worst come to worst, we will come with 1 gold.
Yes.
1 bronze.
Yes.
And 1 silver.
I also had 3 medals in my mind, realistically, because we had a Toby. Don't let me be the one saying anything now, but go ahead. Who are the 3 athletes you had in mind?
I was expecting a gold from the hurdles. I knew it was going to be tough. When I spoke with my colleagues, I said, look, that hurdles is going to be tough. So most of their competition, when they were going through the circles, I said, I still give our girl, gold. Then I went to the long jump. We should get at least bronze or silver, either bronze or silver in the long jump. Then I went to the relay. We will get at least bronze in the women relay, 4x100.
Okay. So realistically, you are thinking of 3 medals, and then what happened to those 3 medals? What did you yourself said it? Toby did not go to the Olympics in her best form. Shortly before the Olympics, she wasn't winning anymore.
Yeah.
The long jump, Brume.
Yes.
She, of course, the same thing more or less. I thought they said she had an injury even going to the Olympics. And then you spoke about the relay, which unfortunately we saw what happened. I don't know what happened there. But that's our realistic expectation. Not that we are going to go with 82 athletes and we are going to come back with 82 medals. Abi?
No.
I'm just setting the tone. I'm just
Yes.
setting the tone. Okay. So what do you think happened there, created by the minister, for example?
The preparation. Olympics is not a 2,
No, I'm
3
talking
months.
of the medals. We are talking medals now.
Yeah.
We are looking at the Paris medals.
The Paris medal, yes.
Yes.
Okay, those 3 medals that I was looking at, I knew they were not going to come easy, especially for the hurdles. But I can see the pressure, that guy had.
Very good.
I saw the pressure, I saw the race. I was a hurdler. You see, when you are in a team where all eyes are on you, we have failed in every other part. Everybody is now looking up to you. Carry the load. It's a different case. Very much different. Plus, she did not pick coming to the Olympics. Because most of those girls that were, that won the race, first, second, third, fourth, about 5 of them, they were peaking towards the Olympics. And this is preparation. This is preparation. You know where to pick. You know where you are going, and what you are going to do. So that was what propelled those 3 girls or 4 girls, first, second, third, and fourth.
Okay. Let me go to Amit, because I know Amit has also, like us, we are more or less of the same generation. And we are all Olympians. We have been there to see. Amit, when you look at the team, I'm talking of us as athletes now. Our expectations are that we're going to come back with some medals. In your own opinion, as an athlete, did we fail as athletes? Yeah, I'm looking at the whole contingent now. Yes, we didn't get problem, but did we fail as athletes on the aggregate, on the balance with our performances in the different sports? I want your view.
Thank you very much. Let me first thank you and other people of like minds in what you have been doing to develop sports in Nigeria. And I hope that one day, I pray that even though it's a thankless job, I pray that one day a Pontius Pilate will come who will recognize Jesus Christ. Having said that, I want to say hello to my brother, my friend, Obasoge. It's nice seeing you again.
Yes.
It has been quite long.
Yeah.
And we're connected. But he's still in the body. Thank you very much. Check. Our athletes did not fail. The system failed them.
Thank you.
That is successfully put. The athletes did not fail, but the system failed them. Why do I say this? Olympics is not a tea party. It takes a lot of dedication, willpower, determination, undying spirit to qualify for the Olympics. So no athlete will treat his or our qualification for the Olympics, with kid glove. Having done that, you want to do everything possible, to make sure that you excel. Unless, of course, if there is a very good enabling environment. It is the environment that is very poor. It is very toxic. So the athletes were not able to give the best they could. Don't forget the fact that apart from the fact that we did not win medals, not less than 9 of our athletes qualified for, in their various events. That means anything could have happened if there was the right frame of mind.
Okay. I asked Obasoge that pointed question. Say, our expectations of medals, realistic expectations. If I was president of a federation, I would know before we go to do. that in this, as we are going to the Olympics, going with 20 athletes, as we have done for so many years. But it is not that we are going to come back with 20 medals. Realistically, you would know that out of these 20 athletes, it is one or two that we come back with, that are likely to come back with medals. The others would either improve their personal times, or they would improve the distances they cover, or they would create national records. They would do so many other things that are not connected with medals. I just have a feeling, that we have allowed the medals to becloud, the lack of medals, to becloud the achievements of our other athletes, that we are not expected to win medals, but went there and created new records, either for self or for country. We had 3 jumpers for the first time in our history. Several of our runners had national records. Our basketball team performed fantastically well. So, but you see, we have allowed this lack of medals to becloud those great achievements. Those are the things we set out to do, not just to win medals. As I said, our medals were limited realistically, very limited realistically. So yes, the system failed them, but the athletes, many of them also performed creditably. They may not have won anything, but we are not celebrating those ones, which is the pain for me. Olumide, I want your thoughts, because our basketball team, even as much as we are trying to celebrate them, we are not celebrating them because of the pain and anger and so on. That team, what they performed is unprecedented in our history. Olumide, your thoughts?
Thank you very much, the headers and the building, mementos, my colleagues, senior Olympians, and the others one. Well, for me, Olympians, they are mini gods, because you know what it takes to be an Olympian. And if you look at every single sports, they have to go through qualification. Either you have to be in the best 2, and you have to be in the best 3 in Africa. Like table tennis, you have to be the best 2, best 3 in Africa. You have to know the pains and agony that all those athletes go through before they get to that stage. And when I read people calling them failures, if it is easy to be an Olympian, you can try and see how difficult it is to get there. We must celebrate them. Part of wonderful job. People run. How many people go to the Olympics? How many people went to the All African Games? How many people went to the Olympics? How many people went to Commonwealth Games? How many people went to the Olympics? So the selected ones, we should appreciate it. That's on that side. And when you're talking about a system, my elders, as I get said, people should be blamed, that should be blamed. I don't really want to go into, but we have to look at the system critically. We have to look at the system critically. When do we prepare? We're talking about 10,000 hours to be an Olympian. For me personally, I must give kudos to the current Minister of Sport. Okay, because it was just victim of circumstances, being in the office 7, 8 months, 7 months, for 4 years of Olympics. People have been there planning before and I've been in the meeting. This is the honest truth. That it was asking every president, what are your media projections? What should we expect? What do you need? Everybody were talking. The one that said we expect media, say yes, but we said no. And you said, and we all said that we're calling for his aid. We have to put ourselves in the shoes, because if we're going to run this in someday, we have to look at what can we do. But for me personally, every one of us have to come together, use this energy. Okay, what should we need to do? How many times do we prepare for this Olympic? There should be proper funding. There should be proper preparation. For me, every single one of us have roles to play in this to make it better for the athlete. During your time is different. I mean, if you look at the different certain things, and like the Big Sheikh said, a lot of positive things to take out of this thing. Look at history. Are we talking about 82, 83 athletes? I'm sure you know that out of these athletes, we expected 5 medals from about 56 athletes, because that's only 5 medals out of 82 we're talking about. Basketball and football, there are about 36 athletes. 4x4 relay, that means about 50 or 52 athletes. Only 5 medals that were awful. But those 5 medals were they actually where we know it. So expecting medals, say the athlete fails, whatever, I don't believe in that. And if you look at the couple of things that we achieved, look at the long jump. Like high jump, we're not talking about it. This is the first time we qualified high jump in a long time by 19, 20 years old girl. So look at the future of that.
To go with as many athletes as qualify, even though you know they will not win medals. Your thoughts?
A combination of both. But before I even go further on that, we should start to think and look at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? The bigger picture is this. We can't continue to do the same thing the same way every time and expect a different result. There must be a complete paradigm shift in the way we do things, especially with reference to sport administration.
Very good.
The young athletes we have talked about, many of them who have qualified, who qualified in their various events, which is just like Olumide and you and yourself said, a fantastic, development in our Olympic achievement. Yes, it's fantastic. But we have to be very, very wary. If we continue to do things the way we do, I only hope that these young lads will not switch allegiance. It has been happening. So the country must have to do everything possible to retain them, to make sure that they do not go out to compete for other countries because of what is prevailing domestically. That, as for your question, it's a combination of both, because we should not forget, the root, of Olympism itself. Before we used to say Olympic is not to take part, it's just to take part and not to win medals. Yes, that's what it was
more
before.
Important.
It's more, yeah, because the spirit must not be forgotten. Inclusiveness, creation of bonds, friendship, peace, and the IOC president even said it in his closing remarks that this Olympics, taking part in the Olympics, is like setting, the agenda for world peace, world harmonization, and world, understanding. So we can combine the two.
Very good. Godwin.
Yes.
Your thoughts, because you have listened. I know
Yeah.
where you are coming from. You see, I did not talk of administration. If we want to talk of administration, that's a totally different thing. We will just be, everybody should be sacked.
Yeah.
You see, because everything is so wrong.
Every failure we had in 2024 Olympics came from the administration. It came from there. Okay. To support what Adio just said, you see, it's both ways. You can take 100, 200 people to the Olympics. And at the same time, you can also say, okay, I'm taking 5. St. Lucia, for example, went with 3 athletes. And they won gold and silver. 3 athletes. That's a country of 179,000 people. Botswana went with 9. They won gold and bronze. Okay. If we are going to go with the Olympic movement ideas, okay, bring everybody, fine. But let us not make it like a jamboree.
Mm-hmm.
to carry, millions of people there. Oh, it's IOC, let's just go there.
We went through the school system. It doesn't exist anymore. So that is the failure. Not going to the Olympics, as far as I'm concerned. Olumide, your thoughts?
But before I even go further on that, we should start to think and look at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? The bigger picture is this. We can't continue to do the same thing, the same way, every time, and expect a different result. There must be a complete paradigm shift in the way we do things, especially with reference to sport administration.
Very good.
The young athletes we have talked about, many of them who have qualified, who qualified in their various events, which is just like Olumide and you and yourself said, a fantastic, development in our Olympic achievement. Yes, it's fantastic. But we have to be very, very wary. If we continue to do things the way we do, I only hope that these young lads will not switch allegiance. It has been happening. So the country must have to do everything possible to retain them, to make sure that they do not go out to compete for other countries because of what is prevailing domestically. As for your question, it's a combination of both, because we should not forget, the root, of Olympism itself. Before we used to say Olympic is not to take part, it's just to take part and not to win medals. Yes, that's what it was
more
before.
Important.
It's more, yeah, because the spirit must not be forgotten. Inclusiveness, creation of bonds, friendship, peace, and the IOC president even said it in his closing remarks that this Olympics, taking part in the Olympics is like setting, the agenda for world peace, world harmonization, and world, understanding. So we can combine the two.
Very good. Godwin.
Yes.
Your thoughts, because you have listened. I know where you are coming from. You see, I did not talk of administration. If you want to talk of administration, that's a totally different thing. Everybody should be sacked.
Yeah. You see,
because everything is so wrong.
Every failure we had in 20 from the administration. Okay, to support what Adio just said, see, it's both ways. You can take 100, 200 people, and at the same time, you can also say, okay, I'm taking 5. St. Lucia, for example, went with 3 athletes. They won gold and silver. Athletes. That's a country of 179,000 people. Botswana went with 9. Won gold. Okay. If we are going to go with the Olympic movement ideas, okay, bring everybody. But let us not make it like a jamboree to carry, millions of people there. Oh, it's IOC. Let's just go there.
Was this last one a jamboree?
You can imagine the two.
I'm just asking. We went through the school system. It doesn't exist anymore. So that is the failure. Not going to the Olympics, as far as I'm concerned. Olumide, your thoughts?
Thank you very much. Definitely, I have a different opinion completely, sir. First of all, when they say that we should take maybe failure, there's no failure. When we say we should take maybe athlete that knows going to win medal, absolutely no. So that means that we're going to stop all the athletes from participating, from go to Olympic qualifiers. But do we know what we're taking out of these young men or women? So if you know that, okay, for you to qualify for the Olympic, you have to go through qualifiers. That means you have to be the best in the continent. Like table tennis, you have to be 2. In the weightlifting, you have to be number 1. In taekwondo, you have to be. So if you qualify and you work so hard to qualify, and they know you're not going to win medals, that you should not go. Or we know we're not going to be good in judo, so that we're not going to go. So we shouldn't go. We shouldn't take the athlete. Who can predict tomorrow? Who knows tomorrow? The time you go to the Olympic might be the time you're going. The time might be your form. So why are we going to deprive these young opportunity of lifetime because we say that we don't know what we're doing? It's in life. We give them opportunity, and they'll be competing against the best. Not the best that we all hope that we say we can get there tomorrow and get injured when warming up. What happened to that? So this, although we have to go with the people that we know we're going to, I think we have to think about this. And we're talking about other countries, 100,000 people. Yes, we have over 200 million. You have to face the reality. Sports change life, bring name, the fame, giving opportunity for the younger ones, not only one person, but for other people. So for us to just say that we have to go with people that we know are going to win medals, I totally do that, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. So if you qualify to go to the Olympics, like team sport, okay, the team sport you have to have, so that means that we're not going to win, we should go for football. Basketball that we are talking about right now, that we are praising. If we win the gold, so we win gold, that we should be, we should not say. Now we're saying that they pass the expectation. So that is on that side for me, and also for the admin, for the setting up, for the time, what we need to do. We should have, sir, you're talking about your own period during the 70s, 80s, when you have to go. All those facilities are decades. The sport right now gone scientific. But we need to be honest. For us to produce an Olympic medalist with the current infrastructure that we have in Nigeria, it will be very difficult. So we have to look at infrastructure. We have to look at funding. We have to look at all these countries that they are winning medals. They don't rely only on government. The people come out there and fund them. The government alone cannot fund sports. And government cannot come with a policy that will force these companies. I mean, just look at the big share when we were doing Chevron and all these secondary school courses back in the day. See how many this one produced. Where are those right now? Where are Moby? Where are all those things that happen right now? So I cannot necessarily the athlete I've feel, but like you said, the system build this athlete. We look out to restructure, and we also have to have more better administrators that will know what athletes feel and how they feel. And the youth elders permit me in Yoruba, I'm a typical Bush Yoruba boy, that anything would need any more yen. If you don't have me, you can never know my value. So we have to get this right and put things together and support the system that would know that is going to make the athletes to be progressive. Thank you.
Fantastic.
What is happening with your country? They have no answer. But we all know we are not politicians. When you let the sports people that know sports, people that know basketball, people that know track and field, people that know soccer. During our time, you came from Ife to go to 76 Olympics. We were coming from schools. I started going to the national camp when I was in secondary school, representing Nigeria. What happened to the program? These are programs we should go back to. These are programs. When I came out of National Sports Festival, the first National Sports Festival, 4 years later, I was ranked number 3 in the world. After I came to the U.S. 4 years after the sports festival. On that, our team that went to the 76 Olympics. What happened to those programs? So those are the things we should look into. We have the talents. We have the talents. Nigeria cannot be talking in 2024 that we couldn't win a medal at the Olympics. 2024?
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
No.
Anyway, but what do we do? So what do we take away from this conversation now? Amida, what do we?
I think they should bring back the National Sports Commission and have seasoned administrators and coaches like we used to have. Don't put somebody in the commission because he donated money to your campaign. No. If you want to do that, put him in the ministry.
I mean, are we to dump everybody in the ministry? So your thoughts.
If we are going to go forward.
Let's look into the future now, Amit. What can we do?
I totally support the idea of bringing back, the National Sports Commission and the idea of going back to the grassroots, because the grassroots is the engine room of sports development. Yeah. But this time around, it must be backed by technology, because the world is moving fast on a technological superhighway, and we should not be seen, to lag behind. Sege, go to the ministry today. I'm saying this emphatically. People in our group, go to the ministry today. The longest they can accommodate you is 15 minutes.
Wow.
After they be asking you, Oga, when are you going back? Because they are scared.
Yeah.
They are intimidated by your presence. They are intimidated by your achievement. And you cannot give what you don't have. So that is the situation. We must have a complete paradigm shift, a reorientation in our sports administration. Put round pegs in round holes to get results. Not this type of, blame shifting. Take, for example, as a journalist, what was the news coming to me, from Paris? The high point of the news is we are paying, training grants to athletes in Paris. Training grants that's supposed to have been paid ever before the guys, left the shores of Nigeria. We are battling with the idea of the fact that Ophili was not registered.
Wow.
And nobody's talking about that.
We cannot continue to glamorize mediocrity. This is a country that is big in size, a country that is big in resources, and we should be having results, for whatever we put in as adventure. So we have to go back to the grassroots. Look at adopt, an athlete system that Sanjay Dare brought into the ministry. What has happened to it? Didn't you do that way back with Chioma and Juma? Didn't you get the results? So these are the areas we have to do, and we have to also make sure that the private sector should come back to sports sponsorship. But that must be based on trust. It must be based on accountability. Because look at Moby. Moby just decided to leave. Cadbury, the same thing. You remember that Cadbury sponsored the Bonvita, the table tennis champions that brought the first 10 in the world to this country to come and participate in table tennis. And look at how that has really helped, our youngsters along that line. When the last time Moby sponsored, the athletics championship was when my board left, the place. Immediately after, they withdrew. That was the board of Dan Ingram. I served him as the vice president of Athletic Federation of Nigeria. And Moby had that confidence because at the end of every competition, we gave account of how money was spent. And we even left a lot of, money in the covers of the AFN. The administrator that took over from us almost immediately, within 3 months, they squandered that money. No accountability. Moby withdrew. Cadbury withdrew from table tennis and on like that. Pepsi, you are a big head. You are involved in all these things now. if you have to do a complete rethink. I think the National Sports Commission will solve the problem where technocrats, people who are vast, who are deep in the knowledge of sports, and who have done it before. Because Jimmy Cliff says, who feels it, knows it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Olumide, you're a poet, oh, I mean, Olumide, you see, he talked about the private sector. And as individuals who are known in sports, who have a background in sports, who have also a background in marketing and so on and so forth, I know Olumide is one of us. Probably this is the time for us to step out and say, yes, we want to take on the responsibility to secure private sector support for sports, not necessarily through government, but in our own right, driving sports at the grassroots. Nobody stops us from doing that. Probably this is the time, I don't know. But your final thoughts on the private sector and sports in Nigeria. Olumide.
Private sector and sport in Nigeria is extremely, extremely important. Like I said earlier on, SARS, if we look at all those companies, all those countries all over the world, none of them single-handedly sponsored by the government. So, but in Nigeria, only by government. We run to them, we move to them. So, and I believe even if we bring out this, excuse me, even if we bring out a sport commission, which we are one of them by sport commission, and they're still solely funded by government, we're still going to keep having the same thing. So we have to have a private sectors, and at the same time, after we have a private sectors, still sport commission themselves, they're going to have an admin, they're going to have a president, they're going to have the people that's going to run the federation. I think the whole ecosystem need to look into what about the NOC side as well. Okay, so yes, structure, and we're talking about the athletes we have to come up and speak up and face the responsibility of this sport that we want it to be better. Everybody needs to have to come up. But in a case where the politics, we have to be realistic, where politics is so bad, is so crazy, is so terrible. I mean, when one person spending over 100 million, 150 million to win the president of a federation. So, and we athletes, we know how we work for our money. Do I expect Big Sheikh to put 150 million? Because I said I want to serve. If I want to serve, why should I bribe you? But the people who are bribing, do you think they're not going to get their money back? There's a lot of problems that we are not facing, that we need to face. We need to be whatsoever happens, Sports Commission, sports sector, this, we need to look at who are running these sports. What do they have? We have I said before we had a conversation quickly, I'm going to make it short. We have three different kind of people that want to run sport. We have some that they just want to use sport to make name and just make name for themselves. We have some that because they want to travel. I mean, they want to travel, they want to get allowances. There are some people that they have nothing to gain there. They just want to be there, be part of it. And the fourth one, we have the people that have a passion, mission, and a vision for sport. But this one, the top three, will not let the last one survive because they're going to do everything to overpower them. So why I work out for my money and I have to go put 150 million because I want to run the federation? So there's a lot of things that was going on. So there should be an enabling environment where the specialists, they can run this sport. I'm not saying all of us, the ex-athletes, are going to be the good administrator. No. But there's a lot of things that we can do. Technicality, yes, we sounded, we can do that. Talking about the running, yes, we can do that. Use experience of marketing and using the brand and image of us to bring money in. Yes, but there's so much, things is so much complex that we have to sit together. It's not going to be like 1 hour, 20 minutes talks, my elders. It's a long walk, but a journey of 1,000 miles start with the steps.
Well,
so we have to take that big steps.
But we will end up the way we started by extolling our great athletes that represented us at the Olympic Games in Paris in 2024. Godwin, I give you 30 seconds to please hail them. Each one of us to hail them, because we must not end this season by thinking, lumping up our athletes, our great athletes who went there to make tremendous sacrifice, and say we failed. No, we the athletes didn't fail. Let me start with Godwin. Yeah. Finally, just hail our athletes, please.
What I will tell the athletes, they did not fail. I congratulate them. Because making the Olympic standard, it's not a joke. They did all they could do. Nobody goes to the war and says, I'm going to lose. Everybody wants to win. But that wasn't our day. 4 years' time, maybe about half of that team will still be ready. Because you never know what will happen in 4 years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then Olumide, because look at Toby Amushon now. Only God knows her state of being, the state of her mental being.
She is 29.
Now she will be counted as failure. And Olumide, your final words to the athletes, because you are our president, you are president of our Olympians Association. Your final words.
I mean, my final word is like a great job by my great Olympians. I'm very excited to have many of us, the younger generation, to continue to do what you're doing, to believe in the system. And at the same time, I'm just going to use this opportunity to commend and to also appreciate the work the Honorable Minister is doing right now. The welfare athlete that you try to do, don't relent. Let's bring this on and continue to move it. And all of us, the great Olympians, let's support the rest. I'm tasking every one of us. Put your shoes on, put your clothes on, put on your spike shoe, your boots. Let's make that different, because the change begins from every one of us.
Hamid, crown it for us this morning, please.
Yes,
as our Oga Pata.
I want to congratulate Nigerian athletes for the wonderful job they did in Paris, for your dedication, your determination, your courage, your tenacity of purpose, and above all, uncommon patriotism.
Thank you. Thank you all. Well, that's all we are going to have on the show this morning. For me, my own final words are the words of CNN when they were promoting the Centennial Olympics, and they were looking for the group that best presents the essence of the Olympics. They went and picked the Nigerian team that went to Barcelona, our female team that went to Barcelona, 4x100 team. They didn't win gold. They didn't win silver. They won the bronze medal. But the way they celebrated bronze, it made bronze even better than gold. What they crowned, how they ended it was that at the Olympic Games, you do not have to come first to be a winner. All our athletes were winners. We congratulate you on your successes, on your achievements, on your performances. And we hope that you will take from there to greater success in Los Angeles in 2028. I wish you the very best of luck. That's all for us. Join us again next week, Saturday, when we bring you another edition of 90 Minutes Mathematical. Thank you, Hamid. Thank you, Godwin. Thank you, Olumide.